welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined all the way from San Diego.
That's right.
Eddie Bracamontes. Yay!
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing okay, man. Thank you for asking. Thank you for having me here.
Good. This is actually the first time we've ever met. I mean, I know we spoke a little bit on DMs there on Instagram, but yeah, we've. I obviously know a little bit about you, but do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, a bit of backstory, a bit of back history?
Yeah, sure. I've been bodybuilding for 15 years or so, but professionally, I got my pro card in 2015. Nationals is when I turned pro, so that's when I really started getting serious about it and started thinking about, hey, maybe I have a chance to make it to the Olympia and so on. And because it was never really a huge dream of mine, when I started working out, because I always thought that these bodybuilder guys are they're monsters, and it's a level that's very difficult to achieve, but now that I've made it to the professional level, it's like, wow, maybe I do have a chance to make it and create that dream of my own. But so yeah, like I said, 5 years. I've been a pro now. I've been living here in San Diego all of my life. I've been training at the gym, which is formerly World Gym. There's a lot of top-level pros out there. One of them is Sergio Oliva Jr. He just came out here a couple years ago. He's my training partner. Mm-hmm. Actually, he's the guy that I lost to at Nationals. So, but anyways, that's a little backstory.
So I'm trying to piece it all together now. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
See, nobody remembers second place, right? Nobody remembers second place.
That's true.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I've been competing. I've done. Let's see, gosh, I can't even count the professional shows, but probably done about 13 or so pro level shows. But
okay,
I think last year was probably the first one where I kind of had a good year. And hoping to make it even better in the next years to come.
So in 2015, was it the super heavyweights you won?
Correct.
So what?
I didn't win. It was super heavyweight, but second place super heavyweight. So the top two.
Right. Okay. So what's your height and weight on stage when you won when you turned pro at the 2015 Nationals?
I'm about 6 feet tall, and my weight was about 245 roughly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So obviously your name is Eddie the Monster Bracamontes. So what tell us a little bit about your pro career and what shows when you really started to feel kind of get momentum going as a pro.
I really think that the momentum began last year when I placed fifth at the Arnold in Brazil, and then in Spain when I placed fourth. I moved up a level more. California Pro, I got fourth again. So last year was a pretty good year as far as top five placings. Obviously this year it's kind of different because of all this, crazy COVID stuff going on. So it looks like I'll just squeeze in one show at California Pro this year. I was supposed to do Legions. That was the other plan, but they just scratched that show too. So it sucks.
Yeah. So you were 245 when you turned pro in 2015. What kind of weight were you, say last year, what was your average stage body weight at 6 foot tall?
Last year was 265 last year.
265.
Yeah.
That's a monster.
Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm working hard.
Yeah. So
this year should be a little better this year. I'll probably be about 270 this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you've had no problems training through 2020?
Yeah, I've been lucky, man. I've been very fortunate to find a few friends that have well-equipped facilities. There was a couple gyms that now are open up outside. So the gym that I train at now, they opened up under the guidelines of the local county health, the Department of Health. Mm-hmm. So we're open up outside. They have a bunch of equipment out there. So we're making it happen, doing what we can. And under the guidance of Chris Aceto, I've been with him.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so he's the one who helped me turn pro, and I've been with him ever since. So just combining that with his knowledge, his experience, I've been able to grow.
So you're saying well-equipped gyms. Have you actually managed to train full pelt? I mean, obviously, if you're coming at 270 for the Cali Pro, around that body weight, and you've certainly improved from last year. Have you felt there's been anything kind of hindering your progress this year with the pandemic, and obviously not being able to train at certain gyms?
I think for the first couple of weeks, once the shutdown happened, it was tough, but as I mentioned, right after that, it was pretty much smooth sailing, and I was able to get into a few places that didn't hinder me at all. I think the biggest thing is just psychological now, just with the mental part of it is what's kind of the obstacle, because just the uncertainty of everything going on, you can't let that distract you, and you got to keep pushing forward. But as far as having somewhere to train, no, I've been very lucky to have somewhere to get it done.
Good. I think that's great to hear, because I've been interviewing a lot of athletes right through the pandemic. Because I've got the studio here, so we didn't manage to miss any episodes. And I find, on the whole, a lot of athletes have been able to, you say psychologically, a lot of athletes have been able to flip it. And also hyper focus, and really kind of, because I think there's less distraction, and there's just, okay, then, well, there's not much to do. We can't go out. We can't do this. We can't do that. I'll tell you what, I'll just do, like, say the guys do in Q8. We'll just literally eat, sleep, train, do what we need to do. And so what's it been like for you? Have you been able to do that?
Yeah, I have, and it's not only with training, but also my main source of income is I'm a personal trainer.
Okay.
So I was also lucky enough to have somewhere to train my clients too. So for me, that brought peace of mind and sanity, because I didn't have to really worry about, where my paycheck was coming from, because I know that's a lot of stress for a lot of people. But aside from just answering your question, it really did make me kick it up a notch, because I told myself, hey, if I'm a professional bodybuilder, I shouldn't let something like this be a reason or excuse to kind of take my foot off the gas.
Yeah.
You got to make it happen somehow. And with God willing, I was able to, because you just focus on what you really want to accomplish, and, the universe will have things fall into place. I'm a firm believer of that.
So you haven't missed a beat with your training. You've got Chris Aceto as your coach. You've got Sergio Oliva Jr. as your training partner. You've had no kind of financial issues this year. I think you've pretty much got everything in your corner to really succeed and move forward, I think, for this year. I think it's going to be exciting to see what you're going to be bringing to the Cali Pro.
Yeah, man, you're absolutely right. And I really feel that with being healthy over the last few years and not sustaining any injuries, knock on wood, I'm just going to continue to improve and lay down the foundation to keep making progress, and hopefully keep moving up in spots, and then ultimately winning the show and make it to the Olympia. That's the ultimate goal.
So that's the goal for 2020, to get yourself to the Olympia.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. I think every professional bodybuilder, that's the goal they set eventually in their head, because without a goal, why are we really doing this? Why are we really doing this to ourselves and to our bodies? And there has to be a why, and my why is making it to that big stage.
Yeah. Have you been watching Phil Heath videos? Because he talks about the why a lot.
Yeah, no, that's right. You have to have a reason to put yourself through this. Just with anything in life, any big, anything that is big and that's important to you, that has a meaning for you, and you have to have a reason why you're going to wake up every day and push through and fight through the struggles and push through those obstacles, and not listen to the naysayers. There has to be a reason, something that's tangible, or else it's just too easy to quit. It's too easy to give up. There's so many distractions and so much negativity and so many things trying to hold you back. And so if you don't have that reason just is instilled in your head, then it's going to be very tough. And so I can remember that every day. And I really, it's funny because I literally can close my eyes and visualize what it's going to be like when I'm on that stage, and I can, just have that sensation, that feeling, and this year, what if there's no people in the audience, but I can still hear those people, you know what I mean? It sounds weird.
Yeah.
You never know. So I can really get a sense of joy and excitement just by visualizing it, and that's what keeps me going.
So because I know the Cali Pro has been moved to Las Vegas, correct?
Yes, yeah, it has.
So San Diego, is that like a 4 or 5 hour drive? Would you drive or fly there, or?
Yeah, I fly every time, so it's about a little bit over an hour. So it's
easy.
quick comp. Yeah, it's easy. So the show is originally, the California Pro is originally in May, the end of May, Memorial Day weekend. Actually, that's when they usually have it.
Yeah.
So my plan was, I took the whole year off. My last show was last July in Chicago Pro. I told myself I want to give myself a whole year to make improvements.
Yeah.
And so then all this stuff happened. They started pushing those shows back. I said, okay, well, why not give the Cal a shot? Because they moved it to September. I said, I'll start my prep early. So I did, instead of a 20-week prep, I did a 16-week prep to get ready for the Cal. And I said, let's give it a shot. Let's start early, try the Cal. If I don't get it, then the next plan was just to start preparing for 2021 and do the Legion show first. But, things happen for a reason. That show's canceled. But still, now I have the California Pro.
Okay, so you're going to be, regardless, you pretty much know you're going to be heavier on stage. So you're going to be heavier. How is your physique going to be better? How have you managed to improve your physique from Chicago last year?
My legs have come up. I don't want to say a lot, but enough to where it's noticeable.
Yeah.
I think with my frame, I do have longer legs, shorter torso. So my legs they needed some improving, and I think I've been able to do that a little bit. And I'm still working on them. So they'll never be perfect in my mind. However, I think it'll show when I step on stage in 2 weeks, some improvements on my lower half of my body.
How did you improve your legs? Did you increase the frequency of training? How did you do it?
For me, I started squatting heavy again.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've been training legs. My split is usually Wednesdays and Sundays. I do legs. One of those days I do more quad focus, and then the other day is more hamstring and glute focus. So that hasn't changed, but the poundage, I think, is what has been changed and what's been different.
Yeah,
just squatting.
So you say you're training with Sergio. I know Chris Cormier was training Sergio were you involved with that? Were you training with him, or was that when you weren't training together?
There was a couple times where I jumped in, but he was so focused on the Arnold, I just wanted to kind of let him do his thing. And
yeah.
So I did jump in a couple times, but for the most part, it was just them two.
Yeah.
It was a cool experience, just because Chris is a great guy.
Yeah. So what's it like being training with Sergio? Because he really looked great. He got 5th place at the Arnold Classic this year. I was actually surprised when he stood next to Ramy. He didn't look. I mean, everyone looked small next to Ramy, but he did not look small next to Ramy. I was really shocked.
I thought the exact same thing. I was right there, bro.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh shit, man! Look at of course, like you said, Ramy's bigger, but he didn't blow him away.
No,
I was really surprised in how Sergio held his own next to him, and I was excited, man. When I saw that lineup in prejudging, I thought Sergio was going to place a lot higher. Honestly, I really did.
Well, I was walking out with Sergio afterwards, and he felt that he could have taken Kuklo, and he thought he definitely beat Kuklo that day, even though Steve Kuklo got 4th. When to make sort of top 5 in an Arnold Classic, that was kind of what we were expecting from Sergio, because obviously he had that 2017 New York Pro win. 2018, he kind of got through to the Olympia on points, didn't place top 15, and then he kind of just disappeared for a little bit. He had a few personal problems, went to Australia, got stuck out there. And to see him come back at the Arnold Classics this year, take 5th place, I think that's really what he needed to do to kind of reestablish himself and really move up and kind of into that next level and that next kind of category of super pros, Yeah,
I agree 100%. It really, I'm not embarrassed to admit this, because I'm very strong with my emotions, but I had tears in my eyes when I knew that he made top 5.
Did you?
Really did.
Fantastic.
It was great. It's such a cool feeling. And it was also kind of bittersweet, because that was his goal, right? Top 5. We talked about it. He said, "Man, top 5 would be great." But I agree with you, I agree with him. I think he could have edged out Kuklo, in my opinion. Nothing bad against Kuklo, but I just think Sergio for something stood out a little more. But anyways, I needed to take a page out of Sergio's book and take the whole year off.
Yeah.
Kind of just to get things in order give my body some rest or some time to grow, because since I turned pro, I never really had a long off season, which is like longer than 6 months.
Yeah.
So I felt that this is what I needed to do. And I'm really glad I did it, because I love to compete. I love the challenge. I love to the psychology behind it and just the structure behind it. But at the same time, you can't keep making significant improvements. You can make small changes, but to really make big changes, you have to give your body some time to grow, and that's what I did. I took the whole year off, and I'm hoping it'll pay dividends.
I'm very excited, very curious to see how this year off, because if you're saying you haven't had a proper off season since you turned pro, no more than 6 months, and now you had a full year, and you're going to be a lot heavy. I'm really excited to see what you're going to be looking like, because you're someone who's kind of someone to watch, and it's like, okay, makes a few improvements here and there, makes some improvements. Here's a guy that could be moving up. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what you're going to be looking like at Cali. Well, Las Vegas.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, right, Las Vegas.
It's getting confusing at New York Pro in Tampa and everything. Yeah.
No kidding. But no, I'm with you on that. I'm really excited to see that, because the last time that I took a whole year off I was an amateur, and when I moved from heavyweight to super heavy, I did the same thing. I took a whole year off, and I put on 32 pounds, man. 32 pounds. And, yeah. But man, I was, almost over 6 years ago. My body was still somewhat younger, somewhat fresh, but I'm hoping to make at least a 8 to 10 pound difference this year. So that's what it's looking like right now.
That's a decent amount of muscle, especially if it goes to the right areas like your legs and your legs, you said, and any other areas that need improving. You're saying you're doing the Cali Pro. Have you got any plans to do any other further shows like Chicago or any others? New York?
That's the only other one, if anything, but I haven't decided yet. I'm not 100% sure, but it would be Chicago. Okay, if I do something else.
So what's the scenario where you would do Chicago or do more shows?
Okay, so now you put me in the spot. If I get top three, I would do Chicago.
Okay, so you want to try and because you obviously have to have the best case, worst case, and okay, I'll get through on a win, I'll get through on points, and then because you sound like you really want to get to the Olympia this year.
Yeah, oh yeah, man, it'd be great to see be there on the stage with Phil Heath coming back and be.
Oh, accidentally put us on hold there. You put me on hold there, mate.
Yeah, all right. To be on stage with Brandon, I competed with Brandon once before at the Chicago Pro before he went to Kuwait.
Right. Okay.
He was a former teammate of mine with SciTech Nutrition, so it'd be cool to be on stage with him again. Mm-hmm. It'd just be great to be a part of history, to be in a new venue.
Yeah.
So it'd be awesome to be there.
So you sound very excited that 7-time Mr. Olympia Phil Heath has returned. I mean, were you surprised when you heard that news?
I'm not really surprised. It would, I know he's, just to see how intense he is, who wouldn't want to come back and try for that record? It'd be foolish, I think, for anyone to turn that down or to not to go for it. So not really surprised at all. I don't think he's done, and by him coming back, I think he has a really strong chance to do it.
So what do you think is going to happen at the let's talk top 5 at Olympia. We've got the Flex Lewis moving up from the 212 into the Open. We've got Dexter Jackson's last Olympia. You've got Brandon Curry with a full year to prep. He's just got out to Dubai, so he's on it now. He's looking great as soon as he even got there. And you know what happens when he goes out to the Middle East? You've got Phil Heath coming back. We've got William Bonac. We've got, so how do you see the top 5 of the Olympia going down?
Well, now the first question is, you think a lot of those guys will make it in, because of all these travel restrictions,
Yeah.
Right. But then again, if they come in early, which normally they do, they should be okay, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully they'll be all right coming in. So I think top 5, man.
Come on.
It's always tough to say, because I think if Phil can pull it together and take care of the problem with what was the issue, like what Big Steve said, was his midsection. They said his midsection stood out too much. Mm-hmm. So I think if he's able to control that and make improvements on that, he's going to win. He has an incredible physique, but at the same time, if he's off just a little bit, that'll make him so much more vulnerable to any other guys. And the current champion, Brandon, he has all the tools he needs to win, obviously, because he did. And so if he took the whole year off to improve, who knows what he's going to look like too. So it can go either way, but definitely top 5 in no particular order.
Yeah.
Let's say Phil, Brandon, obviously. Let's go Dexter. Bonac will definitely be in there. And that fifth one, I think it's a wild card.
Flex Lewis?
Yeah. He has a good.
I've heard wildly varying kind of opinions on Flex. Some are saying he could win it. Some are saying top 3. Some are saying top 5. Some are saying he won't even make top 5. Because I think there's such a question mark because we've never seen him as an open, so we don't know what he's going to look like. I mean, what do you think?
I think he's going to look great. But, when someone puts on so much more size, is their conditioning going to be just as good? Yeah. That's the question. And since he's obviously a smaller frame, but he can still pack on a lot of muscle. But is he going to be able to bring that muscle down to where it's like really see the detail that he's used to having? Being, well, when he's on stage, he's more than 212. When he's on stage, obviously, that's just what he does. When he weighs in, he's 212. But I'm sure it loads up, he's a little heavier, or a lot, maybe. But so who knows? With another 20 pounds, 15, 20 pounds, how is he going to look? So if he's conditioned, he'll make top 5. If he comes in shape with more muscle, very good chance to be top 5. Yeah. I don't think he would win the show.
Okay. Going back to yourself, what would you say is the best condition you've ever achieved?
In my opinion, it would be nationals.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I really like that condition. I don't know, just something about my physique at that day that stood out, and I was really, really happy with what we were able to accomplish that day.
So in 13, did you say you've done 13 pro shows?
Around there, yeah. I haven't kept track, yeah, roughly.
How many times would you say you've nailed your condition in those 13 pro shows?
Twice, yeah.
Which shows were they?
It's so tough, man. It really is, because there's so many things that come into play, and I learned this over the years, and I'm sure you have other pros say the same thing, because every prep is different,
Yeah.
And not just with the outside variables, but internally, stress levels. There's so many things that take a toll on your body. Dealing with relationships and dealing with all kinds of other personal stuff. It's just different every single time. So it's really difficult to say that, it's going to be, you're going to look the same way every single time.
Do you think you've competed too many times? I mean, like you said, you needed a full year off. Now, I'm just thinking, if you've done 13 shows and you've only nailed it twice, really nailed it, and you're really happy with how you looked at the nationals, I'm just trying to work out the variable of why, you've kind of not been, sort of really kind of hitting the mark every single time.
I think you're right. Retrospective, it's giving the body more rest and more time to recover, more time to grow. I think that's important. Definitely makes a big difference. And, I would say that is too many shows is probably the reason why.
Yeah. I mean, I spoke to Brandon Curry and Ronnie Coleman, and Ronnie Coleman won the Arnold and the Olympia in 2001, the same year. Last year, 2019, Brandon won the Arnold Olympia, and both of them said it's hard to peak for the second show. So that's 2 shows in a year that they both won. I mean, both Ronnie and Brandon said their condition for the Olympia suffered because they did the Arnold Classic. So, can you really expect your body to peak really, really well if you're doing so many shows, 13 shows? I mean, I'm trying to lead to, you say you needed that time off, and I'm hoping that we see like a really, really, if you're bigger and in the best condition of your pro career, I think you're going to do really well, mate.
Yeah, thank you. I hope so too, and that'll obviously be proof that I do need to listen to my body and give it more time to recover, more time to grow, more time to rest.
Yeah, and
it'll lead to good things.
Mm-hmm. What does Chris Aceto think of your potential this year?
He's always been very supportive, very encouraging, motivating, and he tells it like it is. He's very straight up.
Yeah.
Very honest guy. And so he's told me that I'm so close to just making that breakthrough. And it's just gonna, who knows what it takes, because you can show up one day and the judges like you, and then the next show the judges don't even, they just look over you, look right over you. So I just need one of those moments to where I can just really make a big impression and a big splash, and that'll be my way to kind of carry me through and have some momentum. So he really thinks I can do it, and just have that I'm overlooked a lot, he said. So,
right. Because I know with Chris, it's not, he's very much, he's not really, he doesn't really give two shits about body weight. He's one of these guys that will, if he thinks he can bring you in better by bringing you in lighter, which might adjust your physique slightly or whatever, it's like he's the sort of person that will do that. He's not one that has like some coaches, they just want the accolade of, look, I've put 15 pounds on this guy, but they don't actually look as good and they don't place as well. But Chris is like, I don't care what you weigh, I will bring you in whatever you look your best at.
Yeah, no, 100%. His thing is conditioning, and he talked about people being peeled, and I think that word gets thrown around too much. You know, nowadays, because peeled, and they're not even close. They're still holding a bunch of water, a bunch of fat. But yeah, his main focus is bringing in someone in as tight as possible.
And he's one of these guys who won't release pictures. Like I remember he said did a picture of Kamal El-Gagni, the 212 Olympia champion. And he was just going into a side chest pose, and he said, "Right, post that picture." He says, "You're ready. I want this picture out there because this is going to make a statement. Because your condition, your fullness." He says that's if you can bring that to the stage, you're going to win. And that it was what I'm saying is he's a guy that really knows what he's seeing. Like some guys will go, "Oh, you look great under the hotel lights," but you don't look as good under the stage lights. He knows condition.
He really does. And just look at how many people he's worked with over the years.
Sean Roden.
He's seen so many physiques and has been through so many different types of preps, and so he knows it all, man. It's amazing his talent. It takes talent to do what he does. Yeah.
What do you like to do in your spare time, Eddie? If you've got any.
Just this past year, I've been now that the stuff is open outside. Going to the beach, just has really been relaxing and hanging out there, just to kind of de-stress and decompress a little bit. Yeah. It really makes a big difference on my psychological health and mental health. And so hanging out outside, I recently got a puppy, which is probably not the best thing to do when you're 2 weeks out.
Oh no.
But she's adorable. She's sleeping right now. That's why it's quiet. But so yeah, just spending time with friends is what I like to do.
Yeah. Would you say you have a stressful life? Because you keep talking about sort of psychological things and mental health and stuff like that. Would you say you have a stressful life?
I wouldn't say stressful, but I think just this year has been different. Yeah. Yeah. Just the year has been stressful. Right. Okay. And yeah, that's mainly it. But other than that, I have nothing to complain about, and my life is good.
Good. Well, I'm really, really excited. I'm really interested to see how you're going to be looking this year, because if you're working with Chris Aceto, you're training with Sergio, and you've taken this full year off, I think everything's kind of aligning for you this year. And yeah, I'm really, really interested to see how your physique has improved, how it's changed, because you're a tall guy, you're a big guy, and I think if you nail that condition, you brought your legs up, and I think it's looking really good for you for this year. So hopefully you won't get overlooked this year, like Chris said.
Right. Yeah, that's the plan, is to really make a statement and stand tall and stand big and have them notice me.
Yeah. So how many weeks is it till you step on stage exactly?
It was 2 weeks yesterday.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Well, you look quite relaxed and everything for 2 weeks out. You seem quite confident and happy, and you seem sort of on it.
Yeah, I'm a good actor.
I can actually. I'm dying inside. Yeah. All right then, Eddie. Well, I hope your puppy doesn't keep you up too much, because you need your Zeds, mate, to be nice and full and dry on stage at the Cali Pro. And I hope to see, and like even if you win Cali Pro, I'd like to see you do one or two more shows if it's beneficial to you for your profile and everything else. And I hope to see you on stage at the Olympia this year. I'd really love to see you get through this year. I really would.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. I really appreciate it.
Okay. All right, then, Eddie the Monster Bracamontes. I will probably, hopefully, definitely see you at the Mr. Olympia in December.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, then. Oh, also, do you want to give any shout out to any sponsors or any thank yous before we go?
You read my mind. Yeah.
Sorry, I
nearly
forgot.
It's the company I've been representing for a couple years. Those guys are great. And just want to thank them. The gym, San Diego, which used to be World Gym. Those guys also just tons of support there, and a lot of great people that I have to just say hello and thank you to. And yeah, everyone that just been giving me positive and encouraging words throughout the years. I don't like to say that they're fans, but just people that have expressed their appreciation for what I do. And
you can call them fans. That's what they are, mate. Fans, followers, friends, supporters. It's all the same thing, isn't it?
I don't like to say fans just because I don't see myself as anything, as a big time person or bodybuilder. But anyways, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to know that there are people out there that are rooting for you, and supporting you, and just really happy to see that you're following your passion, following your dream, and so I want to thank all of them too.
Good. Well, hopefully we can see a bit more content online as well, because you've been kind of staying covered up a little bit, and I'm very curious to give us a bit of a glimpse. Come on, give us a glimpse before the Cali. Just give us give us a couple of sneak peeks, either training or something like that, because we want to see what's going on there. I want to see what's been going on in the last year.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll make sure to do that. I'll tag you also.
Nice one. All right then, Eddie. All the best for the Cali Pro, mate, and all the best for the rest of 2020.
Thank you so much, man. You have a good one, okay?
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined by the current men's physique Olympia champion, Raymont Edmonds. Yay!
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Raymont, thank you. I know this is a take two, mate, because sorry about that. That's our shitty British Wi-Fi, my friend.
It's all
Okay then, mate. Right, well, you're the current men's physique Olympia champion. Tell me a little bit about your backstory when you started competing. Just tell us.
Preacher crow machine, and he was like, "You compete," and I had no idea what he meant. Like, I'm lifting weights. So I'm thinking he meant like some lifting, competing, and he meant bodybuilding. And I'm thinking like, hell no. Like, no, I've never thought about doing bodybuilding before ever. I mean, because all I thought was like, like Arnold and like Ronnie Coleman and big guys like that. And I'm like, I've never seen me actually like, bodybuilding, wearing the posing trunks. And I knew I wasn't nearly as big as those guys yet. But then he showed me men's physique because it was still new. Because, it just came about in 2012. So,
yeah. It was just then. It was just new, wasn't it?
So I checked it out on Instagram. That's how I did like research on it, And first thing that I found out was hired a coach. So I hired someone locally around here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I did my first show here in 2014.
So sorry, how many years have you been training by this point?
Training since 2009.
Was that specifically to build muscle, or was it for a sport or anything? Any other reason?
Actually, I was incarcerated at the time.
Oh, okay.
Like 2008, 2011, and like I did it as a coping method and just getting through day by day by day.
We got plenty of time to train there, haven't you?
Yeah, I had the time. I mean, what a better and like in the mix of it, it's like, look, I turned the great things into something. You know what I mean? Yeah. That like I was kind of forced into it, like to figure out how to get by, and it was training, Wow,
okay. So what age were you then? What age were you then when you started training?
Like 22.
Oh, okay, still quite young.
Yeah. So, but after my release, like I said, I trained just in the gym, just lifting weights because I continued lifting weights, just a day by day thing, and that's when I was a guy, and that's how I started and began. So.
Okay, so how long, if you don't want to talk about being incarcerated, was it because you've turned your life into a real success story, the men's physique Olympia champion, you're the best in the world at what you do. Do you think that the whole weight training and bodybuilding thing, was that what turned your life around, would you say, or tell us?
100%. Bodybuilding saved my life. You know, that's a slogan that we use here at Dark Sport, you know, and it means like it's true, it's real. You know, because especially being in the position that I was in, I could have easily, you know, not turned into a positive thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I've tried, you know, several jobs and stuff after my, you know, release, and it wasn't until I got into bodybuilding, you know, that I really found, you know, something I was passionate about and actually served my purpose, you know, and absolutely, bodybuilding it saved it.
Do you think that's?
Sure.
I think that's the key word, isn't it? Do you think bodybuilding gave you purpose when you came out of prison?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, because, you know, I also have you know, first and foremost, being a father. So for my daughter, you know, so, you know, that and having, you know, bodybuilding, it just kind of just meshed and went together. And, you know, I'm for it, man. 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, so you started competing in 2014. Tell us about
that. Just, it's funny. It's funny thinking about it because, you know, I always get asked, people ask, did you ever think you would be Mr. Olympia? You know, when you first started.
Yeah.
And to look at my earlier picks, the odds truly were against.
Oh, really? So you wouldn't say you were like genetically gifted at the early days?
Nope, because, you know, everything was, like I said, I hadn't been training. You know, there's guys who've been training during their teenage years and high school and stuff. So mine was kind of like, you know, in my early 20s. And it still wasn't to where I tied in nutrition and training. You know, that goes in hand with bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So, you know, it takes time. So when you first start, you know, your body is just going through things you're not used to, you know? So I was like 170 pounds my first show on stage. I'm 6'2".
I was about to say, because you look tall. I mean, 170 pounds, that's like 12 stone 2 at 6 foot. No, that's not a very big guy. I'll be honest there.
And I wasn't a big guy my entire life. Like I graduated from high school at 145 pounds. No kidding.
Wow. Okay. That's not a big guy at all, really.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's when I really like, you know, learned how to like, okay, I you know, it was, you know, the eating, the training, the sleeping, and, you know, seeing your body go through transformation. And that's when I really like consistently got into training and stuff. So
was it your coach that showed you the ropes with training, nutrition, and really kind of helped everything fall into place for you?
Yeah. Dave Anderson, I believe his name was. Started with him. And then it was Evan Legacy. He was from Erie. But when I got with Omar Venturas, who, you know, currently work with now, and it's like, it all makes sense, you know?
So when did you really start to kind of show, greatness?
Wasn't right away. Well, actually, my first show, I won right away, right?
Yeah.
I won overall. I thought I was great after that. That was the last show I won.
Okay.
That was the last show I won until about 5 shows later. And that's when I ended up winning the overall, you know, championship down at Nationals in Miami. Okay. So it never was just like, you know, started off great promising. So that's why I say when people ask, you know, did I ever think I'll be Mr. Olympia? I'm like, I'd be lying if I say yeah. It just became a dream, and the confidence got further and further as I you know, as I progressed.
So what year was it that you turned pro at those Nationals?
2015.
2015. So you're already winning overall national championships. You got your pro card. So tell us your pro career. How did that start?
My debut at the Arnold Classic. I came in 6th place, and that was amazing. You know, my pro debut, and this is you know, the other guys were top 5 in the world, and I came out of nowhere. You know, I won a national show, but
And this was the year, I think that was back in the year when men's physique and women's physique wasn't invitational, so it was open. So you would get, you'd get like 30, 40, you know, in a lineup. So it wasn't like the men's open where there's like a dozen guys. So if you're coming 6th in like a big lineup, I mean, that's good to, you know, your first pro show to get really noticed in top 6 in the second biggest bodybuilding contest in the world. That's impressive, mate.
There was clips of us, you know, 10 of us, 11 of us on stage, and we're almost about to fall off. And like, move. And we're looking like there's no room. So, but yeah, that was amazing, man. I mean, you know, think about it, that was the Arnold Classic, you know, my pro debut, and I came in 6th place, and the other guys were all Olympians. So the next show I did was the Pittsburgh Pro. It was my hometown.
That's a good one to do.
Yeah, it was a good one, and that was that show. I came in 5th.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm thinking we got to get a little better. I tried to go down to Atlanta and do a show, like just thinking I was going to show up and win, and I got humbled quick. I came in 12th place.
Oh, 12th. So you're starting to, you're just on that top 6 and top 5, at the pro shows, and then boosh down to 12.
Yeah. So, and then the next show after that, I did the New York Pro, and I came in 9th place. And then after that, I ended up kind of injuring my lower back. That it was like the highest grade of almost being torn or something,
Oh,
and
really?
it was.
How did you do that?
It was in a gym, I guess, just training. She said my chiropractor, Dr. Carly Cunningham, that Legacy Medical Center here in Pittsburgh. They've like just that injury right there to where I am now is just thankful for them. But I don't know. It wasn't like I was training or anything. It was just maybe I tweaked something. When we're warm and we're in a gym or when we're just moving, anything can happen. And then I thought I was just sore and I kept stretching it, but I was actually straining it more and more and more.
So you're making it worse when you thought you were making it better.
Yeah. So I was trying to get ready for the Tampa Pro, and it was like during peak week. I had to email the IFBB and say I actually hurt myself. I need a few days to see if I can get myself together.
Yeah.
And I tried, and it wasn't happening. So I took about like the rest of 2016 off, just to get better.
Yeah.
And that was when I got Omar Ventura at the end of 2016. So headed in 2017, that's when I would say that's when I arrived, really. Because 2016, it started off hot, but it kind of went down and I faded.
The thing is that time in 2016 when you're recovering, that could have, but that 2016 time when you were kind of recovering for your lower back, that could have been a time where you could have gone, okay, maybe this isn't for me. I'm going to step back and I'm going to, maybe I can get more injuries like this. So maybe I just need to step back. But instead, it kind of, you met with this new coach, and then 2017, that's when you said you arrived. Hey, Raymont, sorry, we lost a bit of connection there. So we've switched to your phone. You were telling us about your year 2017 when you really, really felt like you arrived in the industry.
Oh, yeah. So that was when I got with, Omar Ventura out of San Jose, California. Team Ventura. Shout out to, all them boys. It was different too because I was used to working with people like in Pittsburgh, so I was kind of skeptical because it was I knew I had to be accountable because this guy isn't here, and I knew if I was I didn't want to waste my time with things. Like I said, my purpose was for my daughter. So at that time, I was either all in with bodybuilding, or two, like I said, because I just got injured, so it didn't really provide anything for me, So I had a good feeling about him, Andre Ferguson, number 2 in the world.
Andre,
He actually opened the doors for Omar. He was like, man, you need to, me and him had a relationship because Dark Sport, our clothing sponsor, and he was like, you should work with Omar, man. And I'm like, maybe. And then, because like I said, at the time, I still wasn't, fully, just, into this, I'm certain of providing and stuff. Yeah,
this kind of reminds me of like when Flex Wheeler helped Ronnie Coleman and then he kind of got beat by him at the Olympia. So Andre, obviously the number 2, if he hadn't done that, maybe this wouldn't have, you wouldn't have maybe risen to the top of Mount Olympia in 2019. So well done, Andre.
Maybe, but thank you.
I love it. That's fantastic.
That's my guy, man. You already know. But yeah, man, something I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta be all in.
Yeah.
So, I decided to, and oh man, instantly from day one, I mean, receiving, just my programs and stuff from it, I'm like, okay, this is something. I thought I knew hard work. No way. So, it took to really take it to that level. And that's why I say 2017 it started being rewarded. And at the Arnold Classic, even though I repeated the same placement as the prior year, everyone knew that I looked so much better. And I brought a different look because remember, I'm 6'2", I'm taller than everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so it's still at that time, it was like, it had no place for me yet.
I don't think I've ever. I can't remember seeing that many really tall guys. Certainly over 5'10" in men's physique.
You know, and you know, I'm 6'2", so those guys are like 5'9", 5'8".
Yeah.
So you know, after that Arnold, we knew like we got something. I had the confidence, he had the confidence, and we just said, "Yo, let's just go. We're going until we qualify for the Olympia." And I went to Texas at Dre Dillard's show, the City Limits, and that was a great show. I came in second place. But I knew it, man. I'm like, I'm close. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And did the Pittsburgh Pro back in my hometown. No, not the Pittsburgh Pro. I did the Charlotte Europa. Right after that, this is my third show now in a row.
Sorry, Raymont, was this 2017?
2017.
2017. Yep. So you're really starting to pick up momentum.
I'm really starting. This is my third show now in Charlotte. I did the Arnold in Ohio. I did the City Limits in Texas. Now I'm in Charlotte. So I got sixth place. So I got second place, and now I'm in Charlotte, and I get my first win. And I qualify.
Fantastic.
For the Olympia.
How did that feel?
I mean, unbelievable. You know, unreal. It's like, okay, but still, I knew like my goal was never just to make the Olympia. You know. To qualify for the Olympia. So I knew I had to keep going on. And I knew I had to do the shows that, you know, the Arnold, the Pittsburgh, New York Pro. And the next show up was the Pittsburgh Pro, back in my hometown. Coming off of a win. Yeah. Coming off of a win. Mm-hmm. I go to Pittsburgh, return home, and get a back-to-back. I get a win at home in Pittsburgh, and I beat Andre and
two
George.
wins. You got 2 wins, and he beat Andre in the Pittsburgh.
So, like, you know, those two guys at the time. I mean, even now, like, you know, when you think of the top guys, you think of those two. And at this moment, it's like, you know, I've never beat them. You know, a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I beat them at home in Pittsburgh.
Wow. Okay.
And you know, that's 2017. I go to New York, and I try to pull off the third win in a row, and Andre beat me in New York.
Oh, so you got second to Andre. So Andre flipped the switch.
That's when, you know, I had momentum going into the Olympia. And that was my first Olympia, you know, after, and I came in fourth place.
Fourth place at
the Olympia. And,
Very
you
good.
know, that was at the time, you know, Jeremy, I think he had I think that was his fourth win or his third one, something like that. You know, he had Brandon, George, Andre, Ryan Terry, you know, all the guys, you know, who are there with me now, you know. So,
Yeah.
You know, I that was fourth place right there, and that was huge. I'm like, whoa, fourth. I'm like,
Fourth
okay.
in the world.
Now, then I started believing. That's when I believed, like, okay, that's when I truly believed that one day I could achieve and become Mr. Olympia.
Okay.
That right there. Yep.
So
2017.
Fourth place with 2 wins. Fourth place at the 2017 Olympia. And then you really, really realized that, you know, you had what you thought you had what it took to actually win the Olympia.
Absolutely. Like, you know, like I said, my goal was never to just make the Olympia.
Yeah.
I wanted to be one of the top guys in the world, you know? Like, it's like I said, I was 30, you know, when I got into this, you know? Like I said, I had a daughter, so I was looking to really, you know, become, you know, and make this a career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And knew that by ways of doing it would have to be by, you know, really producing and winning.
So what about what happened in 2018 then?
2018, we kicked it off with the Cheru Classic.
Okay, in India.
Cheru Classic, you know, Cheru Classic, up in Colombia.
Oh, Colombia. Not the Colombia, not India.
Yeah, in Colombia.
Right. Okay.
Yep. The Cheru Classic in Colombia, and you know, it was me and Andre. It was my first time competing internationally, and that was amazing. You know, that was amazing. I love Colombia. I love Colombia. You know, such a, you know, so much love from down there. Fernando Chala, you know, one of Colombia's own in Medellin. I love it down there. But I went down there and competed. It was my first time internationally, so, you know, I had to learn some things, like just from food selection and stuff, you know.
Trying to prep and travel, and it really scuppers a lot of athletes the first time they do it. It absolutely floors them sometimes.
And I give guys, you know, props who do it, you know, that actually have been doing it, and that's what they have to do, because we think, in the States, we have so many shows that, we could come home, come and go. But those guys who come internationally, they have to come here and like stay and get adjusted.
Yeah.
And me going to Colombia, I found that was pretty difficult. I'm like buying stuff like, just different. It's just different language and just the food, and so yeah, we made it work. Like always, I'm gonna find a way and get to the show. And me, Andre, and we finished strong at the prejudging. And in finals, the judges, they seen Fernando. He came in even better at finals, and he tipped me. He got me down there. I came in third. So,
you got third. So you got third. So you and Andre are really, there's a real parallel that you're winning one, he's winning one, and then you go into Colombia, and then the local guy is kind of like pulling it ahead for the finals and kicking both your asses.
He looked good, man.
Is he good?
That's why, that's why it's tough to like. It's you just gotta accept the placement sometimes, because guys really do look good out here, man.
Yeah.
It's a decision that. It's based on judgment, so
yeah,
you gotta keep it going. And like I said, I just took that as your inspiration to keep going, like I always do.
Good.
When I take a fall back, or I don't meet certain expectations or something, it fuels me, So
rest of 2018, come on, tell us. We're getting closer to that 2019 one now. Come on, I'm getting excited now.
I ended up in third place down in Colombia.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, we got the Arnold but it was a month, 2 weeks later, and I'm like, I can't wait. We're getting it on, Go to Columbus, and me and Andre again, me and him.
Wow. you guys should be training partners, I think.
2018, they call us out for just final comparisons. He and I. So it comes down to he and I. Again. And then but still I'm like, all right, cool, go to Pittsburgh. I went Pittsburgh again, so that was the second year that I went Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I went to New York also, won New York Pro.
Oh, fantastic.
So I won New York Pro.
Another 2 wins. And then how many wins have you had in total?
Man,
come on, add them up. Come on, you must know this.
I don't.
Really?
Knows all these.
You hang on. Whoa. You don't know how many pro wins you have.
You know what I know? I just know that I won a 2019 Olympia.
Yes, it's all that matters, really, isn't it? It's all that matters.
It's all a dream, bro. So like, I got to go back and really take it back and really check. But yeah, it's. I would have to go back and think about it, but that's the one that means the most.
I can't believe that. So. I can't believe you don't know how many pro shows you've won. Just because nothing else matters apart from winning that Olympia last year.
2016, I didn't win one.
Yeah.
2017, I won 2.
Yeah, so it's 2.
2018, I won
3.
2.
2.
So that's 4.
So 4. Come on.
2018, I won Colombia. So, 2019 now.
Yeah.
So we got to get on. I'm missing out some shows right here. See, you're missing out the build-up.
Come on, mate. Come on. Colin, can you make a note, please, of how many shows that the Olympia champions won? He doesn't seem to know, mate. I like this. Yeah, I actually messaged Nathan Diaz the other week, and I said, "How many shows you won, mate? And what dates?" And he goes, "Oh, I ain't got a clue." He says, "You'll know more than me." I was like, "Okay."
What'd you say?
Sorry, I messaged Nathan Diaz, the Open Pro, and I said, "Can you tell?" Sorry, I messaged Nathan Diaz the other week, and I said, "How many shows you won and between what time?" And he says, "I ain't got a clue." He says, "You'll know better than me." I was like, "Okay."
It's all repetition for the big one, man.
Yeah, it all leads to all that one path leads to the top, doesn't it?
It really is,
Yeah.
It really is, man. So like, yeah, so 2018, I get those big wins. In 2018, I come in second place at the Olympia. To Brandon Hendrickson, he looked amazing.
Of course, yeah.
He dethroned Jeremy. So Jeremy was going for his fifth one that time or something.
Yes.
And Brandon showed up, and he did his thing, and it was close. I lost about 2 points. So it was close. That one, I'm like, close. Whoa! When I found that out, I'm like, oh, next year we got to get this.
Yeah.
Next year we're getting this. And in 2019, I what 2019.
Don't tell me. Did you get Andre Ferguson kidnapped for the whole year or something just so you could?
No, I didn't. He never get. He's still in the way every year.
Yeah, this guy, he's a problem, man. He's like.
So 2019, still a year. I'm gonna just give you a preview. It's a year still with Andre.
Yeah. So 2019, I get to Colombia. I get the win. You know, I win down there. And I go to the Arnold Classic, and Andre beats me again at the Arnold Classic, and he beats us. He beats us all, the field, pretty convincingly that day. He showed up, and whew, that was some of his best stuff right there, you know?
Yeah, I was there. Good.
Oh, it was bad. It was on fire. So that was like his second one right there. Then after that, I went to Pittsburgh, and I won Pittsburgh again. So that was my third year in a row I won Pittsburgh. So I pulled off a three-peat here in Pittsburgh, which was pretty accomplishing, you know? Like, that was a show. That Pittsburgh is, you know, it's my hometown, you know? Yeah. It means everything. I got everyone here, you know, those who, you know, believe in me, who can't get to me and see me as much, and then, you know, I get to put on a show. It was my first show I witnessed, like, the pro events. So it's kind of all, you know, makes sense.
Yeah.
And then after that, you know, I was going to do New York Pro again to try to, you know, win a back-to-back to New York Pro, because, you know, that's a big accomplishment. New York's a big show. It's always been one. And my grandmother passed, and I had to, you know, take some time off. So, you know, that right there, you know, that right there was a moment that really, you know, put things in perspective where, you know, I knew it, like, okay, since I can't do New York, when it's time, you know, let me, you know, deal with, you know, my feelings and my past and family and all that stuff. But I knew, like, that Olympia, I was going in for that. Yeah. And it wasn't easy neither in 2000 for the Olympia prep.
Why?
I had an accident where I was a lawnmower accident, like 7 weeks out from the Olympia.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Can we just re-edit lawnmower accident out, and can we say saving some orphans from a burning orphanage or something, please? Because I think that sounds cooler.
What'd you say?
Sorry, just a bad English joke. Doesn't matter. So So tell us about your lawnmower accident.
So I'm cutting grass, man. I like to cut grass. People are like, "Why are you cutting grass?" Like, I like to cut grass. Jeez.
Okay.
Safety first, though, man. Safety first. And,
of course.
You know, I had sneaks on. I had tennis shoes on. You know, and I should have had boots on. And yeah, just a freak accident. And I nearly cut my whole right big toe off.
Okay.
7 weeks out from the Olympia.
Oh, wow.
7 weeks out from the Olympia last year, 2019.
Okay.
So first thing I ask, I got text messages and stuff, screenshots. I'll show you. First thing I ask when I get to the hospital is, give it to me straight. How long is the recovery? Am I keeping a toe or not?
Okay.
I got the biggest show in the world coming up, and I placed second last year.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about, you know? And you know, they couldn't tell me nothing right away, but after they really told me, like, yo, well, the good thing is you're going to keep your toe.
Okay.
It was like, after figuring it all out, you know, I shattered the tip of it, I lacerated it, and I actually fractured my bone too. And, you know, your big toe is only but so big, so I'm lucky that it could have been worse. I could have lost a foot, all my toes.
Yeah.
Jeez, this is crazy thinking about it. But they told me it could take 5 weeks. I'm thinking in my head, okay, that leaves me with 2 weeks.
Yeah. So at least you could still do the Olympia, which you ended up winning. Yeah. Okay. Raymond, I think we're starting to lose connection again. I think we should get you back for a part 2 when we've got crystal clear connection, because I want to hear more of your story, because it's been nice hearing your contest history. But can we get you back on again before the Olympia? And we'll hear more of your story. Is that okay? Well, I think we need to I need to have a look at my Wi-Fi as well, because this has been fantastic. I really appreciate you coming on, mate. I really do.
As I was about to say, my journey's been something else, man.
Yeah, it has.
So I'd definitely be willing to, you know, do this again. So
okay, Raymond.
It's a good time for sure, man.
All right, then,
Absolutely.
mate. Well, thank you so much, and we'll get you on again for part 2 right before the Olympia when you go to defend your title.
Let's do it, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymont. Bye-bye.
All right, man. Hey, take it easy out there, man.
Bye-bye. Take care. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined all the way from Phoenix, Arizona.
Still.
Dennis James. Yeah, yeah, I don't want to get that wrong then, mate.
Yeah, that's okay. Wouldn't be the first thing you get wrong.
Oh, no. I thought you were going to mention it. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but I had to say that because I got you last time, so I'm thinking this is number 2, so. No,
Okay.
you're doing pretty good though.
Oh, phew! Thank God for that. I thought he always gives me a bit of flack. DJ does, but yeah, I like that. What I like about you, mate, is you actually you challenge my knowledge sometimes a little bit. That's why I like getting on you and Milos and Bob. You know, the real kind of the real experts of the sport, because it's nice to get people on that really, really know their stuff. You know, with yeah.
Yeah, but you know, if I say something sometimes, that's not because I want to be a smart ass. I just want to make sure, you know, maybe because, you know, sometimes you say something, you know it's not right, but you say something wrong, and, you know, I just want to throw that in,
Okay.
you know, to refresh someone's memory sometimes.
Okay.
And you listen, I'm wrong a lot of times, so don't even feel bad about it. I'm probably more wrong than anybody else.
Well,
I just don't get caught easy.
Oh, I know, but I like that. Good, it keeps me on my toes. And I like being a smart ass anyway. So right, okay then, mate. There's a lot going on in the industry right now. Should we have a little chat about Tampa? What happened there and what you predicted?
What do you mean? What I predicted?
Well, you kind of said that Hunter was gonna. Yeah.
Okay, you're talking about the Tampa Pro.
Correct.
Okay, because now the New York Pro is going to be in Tampa next week, so that's why. Okay,
It's getting confusing.
We predicted that. I think we all predicted that Hunter is going to win the New York at the Tampa Pro, and he did, rightfully so. He deserved it. He was the best, you know. Ian Valliere could have easily walked away with a win if he would have been the Ian Valliere that we know.
What do you think it was that why Ian wasn't really, because he was sharp and he looked great in the lead up, but something wasn't quite like how he looked at the 2018 Olympia. He was kind of bigger and full, but he just kind of looked a bit flat to me.
For prejudging, I think that must have been the worst Ian I've ever seen, you know, and that has something to do with the tan. It's a terrible tan.
Yeah,
It stood up there like, you know, it was almost like unprofessional, you know.
Yeah.
How can you not get your tan right? You are the professional pro show. You're a favorite going into the show. You know what I mean? So there had to be something that went on that threw him off. He was absolutely flat on top of it, so nothing worked, I guess. And you know, and I don't know if you saw the pay-per-view, and I mentioned it. I said it. You know, he's off. Yeah. You know, and the tan, the whole way he displayed himself was just amateurish. And then he came back for the night show with a good tan and looked 10 times better. You know, not good enough to beat Hunter that day.
Yeah.
But good enough to, you know, arguably get second. I would have probably had him in third, to be honest, because I would have had the guy that got third.
Dwayne Walker.
His last name was. That dude was awesome.
Was he?
He stood out to me, you know. He stood out. They never put him next to Hunter, so it was, you know, I would have loved to see a comparison with Dwayne and Hunter side by side. It never happened. So
I mean, going back to Ian Valliere, I don't see why they should have a bad tan, because most of these athletes use the tanning facilities or the tanners at the show. So I don't see how he messed up his tan, because I don't see how it's possible if everybody else had a good tan and he didn't. Maybe like a Dennis Wolf and he needs to put on more coats. Yeah,
the only thing that I can think of is probably that he maybe came too late.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to get the tan done, you know. I was surprised he even made it to the States, because I thought the borders were still closed. So I guess they do give some special entries to certain people, because they didn't give it to the guy from England. He had the visa and everything ready, and they wouldn't let him travel. So I was surprised he made it. Maybe he made it last minute and everything was just totally off, and therefore he didn't make it on time for prejudging. You know, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, because I've seen him so many times and he was always good.
Yeah.
So that was the first time where he was like, it was surprisingly way off for prejudging. But you know what? The judges still gave him a look. And he still ended up in second, So
I think because I know his coach Patrick Tour, and they said that he felt like it was up to a certain point Ian kind of just lost control of his physique, and I think he was by himself. And he said that I think he was a bit anxious by the fact he was by himself and he had no one with him. And I think sometimes, like Cedric McMillan can have this, he just kind of goes in a free fall and his physique just seems to look great in the lead up. And then something happens, they get stressed out and it just kind of all seems to fall apart,
Well, that might be the case. But then listen, you're a professional. You're going to have to learn to act like one. You have to learn to adjust. You can't have a babysitter with you all the time if that's the problem. You need to learn how to be on your own at certain times because everybody has the same issues. But you know what? I doubt that it was because he was by himself. I just think that he had to rush something really, really fast, and he wasn't able to get everything done in time, and especially the color, because he didn't even look like he got spray tanned. He looked like he tried to rub that tan on himself, just like a little bit. That's what it looked like to me on stage. So, but he came back better at night. He was a totally different person, and if he would have showed up the way he did at night, in the morning, it would have been way closer.
Yeah. So for you, did Hunter Labrada live up to the hype?
Yes, I think he did. I think he did live up to the hype. The thing is, the lineup wasn't really deep. Okay. So this is a perfect pro debut. You find the show where there's basically nobody there that has you beat on paper. So it's an open show. So he chose the right show. I mean, it's not his fault that people didn't want to compete at the Tampa Pro, but he deserved to win. Yeah. He was the favorite going into the show. He delivered. He looked great. His condition was maybe not 100%, but he was very good. The only one with 100% condition, I think, was Dwayne, the guy in third. His condition was unbelievable and his quality. But like I said, Hunter, he delivered. He deserved it. And, I'm looking forward to seeing him on the Olympia stage this year.
Yeah, because like you said on when I did an interview with a few weeks ago, you said he was looking good up to the New York Pro. Obviously, it was supposed to be in kind of May, June, wasn't it? And then when it kind of went past that point of when he was, because obviously he had to prep for a couple of months later, he kind of, like you said, he grew into the show, didn't he? He just got better. He went from being impressive to like super impressive. Yeah.
And I hope he can continue doing that for the Olympia because he needs some more size for the Olympia. When I mean size, I mean certain body parts. You will see the difference when he steps on the Olympia stage with the quality of the other guys, especially when they turn around backs, back double biceps. There's going to be some poses, chest. There's going to be some poses where he's going to get exposed. But listen, he's young. He's got his one pro show in. He's got his first pro win. Yeah. So he needs a few more years to really hang with the big dogs. This is a good year for him because, there might be a few of them won't be able to get into the U.S. I don't know. But he will see the difference, him standing on the Olympia stage compared to the Tampa Pro. It's still, this levels to this game, and it's going to be the next level. So I'm not saying he can't compete with those guys, but maybe not this year, but in the future, he definitely can. Because if we look at what he achieved in the last year or year and a half, if he can do that again, watch out for Hunter Labrada.
I don't actually know his age. Do you know how old he is?
I don't know how old he is, but I know he's not old.
He's not. Is he under 30?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think he is in his. Yeah. Google it. Can somebody Google it? How old is Hunter Labrada?
Google Hunter Labrada, please, Callum.
I mean, when Lee Labrada was on the Arnold, his wife had him in the hand. He was a little baby.
That's what I was thinking.
That was 90-something Arnold.
Yeah, it's like with Sergio, we had him on the 1984 Olympia, so you know that Sergio's at least 36. 28. He's 28 years old.
Yeah, so I figured he was under 30. Yeah.
I mean, if you're under 30 and you're winning your pro debut, I mean, you're off to a pretty good start, aren't you?
I don't care how old you are. If you win your pro debut, that's
exactly.
Giles, think about it. What a way to start. It doesn't matter where you compete. Correct. If you win your first pro show, that's the motivation you need to keep going. A lot of people, like myself included, I got my ass handed to me at my first pro show, and I thought my shit didn't stink.
Was that the Ironman, the Pro Ironman?
That was the Night of Champions in 2000. No, back in 1999, the Night of Champions.
19. Where did you place, Dennis?
I just come off the winning the USA overall, and I thought my shit's. I was talking mad shit to myself, going there, and I got handled. I got 14th. I was like, 14. Shit. I was so frustrated and depressed that after. And Peter McGuff, I remember, I was supposed to do a Flex photo shoot the next day. I was supposed to fly from New York to California to do a photo shoot for Flex. I told him I didn't want to do it. I was so down.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't. And Peter McGuff said, "Yeah, I understand." I thought I'd fucked my shit up totally, but I was no kind of mood to compete to do a photo shoot, which I later regretted. But we just still signed me, thank God.
Yeah, so that was was that the one that Jay Cutler won?
No, 99. Who won the 99?
Hang on. It was Paul Dillette.
Paul Dillette?
Yeah. Marcus Rule was fourth.
2000. I think who won the 99? You think it was Paul Dillette?
It was Paul Dillette and Marcus Rule's fourth, and they reckon that Marcus Rule should have won it because he was so freaky. Dexter Jackson was third. Pavel Yabanicki was second, and I think Milos was fifth.
Possible. Yeah, this is where I met Milos for the first time.
Okay,
he approached me backstage when I took my clothes off. He said, "Damn, you look good, man. You should be placing very well." I was like, I said, "You better watch out." Me and Tom Prince were both our first pro show. We both talking shit backstage. I said, "We're both gonna be the first call out." We both got the fucking third or fourth call out together.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, the thing is,
matter of fact, me and him, we fucking tied at 14th.
Oh, no. Well, you certainly climbed after that because, 2000 Olympia, you look fantastic at that one.
But our defense, there was like over 50 competitors.
Yeah.
It's not like today. There was 53 or 54 competitors total, so it was ridiculous.
Those some of the lineups, the way the stage, they were like 3-4 deep. And if you were a short guy and you're like up on that third plinth at the back, you literally weren't seen to the third or fourth caller. And then the judges have pretty much made their decisions, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing was, I remember, I'll never forget that. That was the year, 1999. Yeah. Wayne the Million called me like 2 weeks before the show. He called me in Germany and told me, just so you know, we're going to drug test. We're going to do diuretic tests. No diuretics. Mm-hmm. And I thought, everybody's following the rules. Yeah, of course, no diuretics. Okay, I stuck to it. Okay. Man, come to find out, everybody was all diuretic. The fuck out, man. I must have been the only guy that didn't use any diuretics because I thought everybody's following the rules.
So,
and the funny thing was, they did do the piss tests. Yeah. So we gave the sample. And they put the sample in this rack. There was all the samples. And after the show, we put our clothes on. We left. The fucking samples were still in the fucking locker room. Nobody ever touched them.
Was it just a PR exercise then?
That was it. Nobody sent a sample to nobody. It was still in there. So I was like, okay, not next time I know. That was the last time I went to a show without diuretics.
Oh, really? The thing is, like, I've never. This is a question I've never asked. How do you pass a diuretic test? Because if everyone's being tested and you know that most of the guys are on it, they must have known. Yeah, guys that would they must have known they weren't going to be tested, though.
No. We got tested after that for 2 years. 2001, Jay Cutler failed.
Of course, yeah.
We got tested, but they give you a list of what's on the list, and there's a few products like Demodex wasn't on the list. Torozamida was a rough, aggressive diuretic. That wasn't on the list. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but there was a few loopholes where you can take something that wasn't on the list. Yes, okay. Absolutely. So, that's when Demodex got famous.
Demodex? I've never heard of Demodex. It's always like injectable Lasix or Daldactone or...
No, it's Demodex. It's torozamide or torazamida, something like that, torozamide.
Okay.
Yeah, very aggressive. Shit, you take one and lose 15 pounds, you can't stop it.
Is that one of those ones that literally works instantly?
Oh, yeah. 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, you're going to start going to the bathroom.
Yeah. Have you had any problems with diuretics during your pro career?
No, because I never used a lot. I never really used a lot. Yeah. No. Sure? Never had any issues, thank God.
Yeah. Okay, what are we talking about? I forgot what we're talking about there. You're talking about gear.
We went from Hunter straight to diuretic.
Yeah, that was a bit of a segue, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, back to Hunter. Where do you think he'll place at this year's Olympia then? At 28 years old.
Well, depends on who shows up.
Yeah.
If I have to compare him now with let's say everybody shows up.
Yeah.
For me, he won't beat Phil. He won't beat William. He won't beat. he won't beat Rami. He won't beat a lot of these guys because he's good, but he's not quite ripe yet to hang with some of the seasoned veterans.
Yeah.
Even Dexter, you know, I mean, he's going to get exposed in a lot of shots. Maybe not too many shots, but from the back, you know, side chest. He's got that pec tear, which is not that bad, but you can see it. You know, so you know he's going to look good. He's not going to be looking. He's not going to be like he's out of place. Absolutely not. And I wouldn't be surprised that if he plays his top 10 in his first Olympics.
I was just about to ask you, do you think he'll squeeze in the top 10? I think he could be. Do you think he'll be second call out?
Well, I don't know. It depends on how they make the calls. You know, it's hard to say because sometimes Steve just likes to do things from the back. You never know. So yeah, if he makes second, possible. If they call top 6 or 7 in the first, you never know what they're going to do.
I think it'd be nice to see a new guy get a decent call outs and be compared with people. I'd like to see him like next to Dexter. I'd like to see how he compares because there's you got Dexter who's coming out of it, and then you got the new blood coming in. I think it'd be nice to see those two side by side. Yeah,
he's definitely going to get a fair look because he's coming off the win first show, so he's not going to get overlooked.
Yeah,
but when depending on who they stand him next to right away, you will see the body parts he needs to work on. I mean, especially his back rear lat spread and stuff. Yeah. He has a couple of poses that just need to get a little bit better.
I think lower lats was one area I thought he needed to really bring up.
Yeah.
So
and the other thing is, it's going to be very hard. He's been dieting all year.
Yeah.
So how much longer will his body say okay? Sooner or later the body's going to like, you know what, I'm tired. Even though you're mentally telling yourself I'm motivated, and the body stops responding. So if he's smart and he's just cruising right now, and it's giving his body enough rest so he can drop the hammer again, maybe 10 weeks out from the Olympia or so.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how he'd look next to like a bang-on Akim Williams and an absolutely, dialed-in Steve Kuclo. I just wondered how he'll look next to those guys.
Well, we'll see when they get on stage together.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk. We can't talk about it because, I don't even know what he looks like next to Dwayne. I didn't even get a chance to see that because Dwayne was 2 people away from him. They never put him next to him.
Why do you think they didn't do that? Why is that?
I don't know. But if I know one thing, if they would have put it next to him, it would have been a different ball game because he would have oh, wait a minute, look how good he really looks.
Yeah.
Because they had Ian in the center. Mm-hmm. And then what's his name? Labrada and the Wayne on the other side. I was like, why didn't they put Labrada? And then they made a call out just Ian and Labrada. They just called 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why not call 3 and mix them up a little bit? So I don't know.
Well, we had Dwayne Walker on a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't realize. I thought this was like one of his first shows, and he was a 212 in the Indy Pro last year. And he's only, because he looks really tall, really heavy, and he's only 5'7", 225. He's not a huge guy, and He
looked great. I'm telling you, he was impressive. I was impressed with him the most. And his condition was spot on.
Good posing.
Did he have a little bit more hamstrings? Yes. But nobody on there was perfect.
Yeah. I like the way he poses, like the way he angles his body. He's got kind of like a bit of a classic look to his physique, and it's, I think, because he says he's going to do as many shows as he can, all the American pros, because he moved from Jamaica to America, and he says I'm here to compete. He says I want to get to the Olympia this year.
Yeah, well, he can if he keeps going. Yeah, why not?
So. Okay, moving on. What do you think is going to happen with Ramy this year? Because that's a big question mark. Is he going to compete? What's he doing? There's pictures of him saying that they're recent pictures and he's looking in condition. What do you think? Ramy, you prepped him 1 year. What do you think he's going to do for 2020? What's your feeling?
I don't know. I know he needs to first. I think he needs to first understand that the show might happen. He needs to. I don't know. We'll have to. I don't know. It's hard to say because, the videos, the pictures or whatever, but the sunken in face, that's old stuff. That's not new. So
okay.
I don't know why some people just report this like this is new breaking news. Ramy in shape. Yeah. This is it's so crazy. Some of these outlets here, they just catch something and then make a story out of it like they know exactly, like firsthand. Yeah. When it's old, So I don't know. He would be the deal for Ramy if he had to qualify. I would wish they would give him a special invite.
I do too. I think that's that's my hope. I hope that, because at the end of the day, there's someone who's been second at the Olympia. He's always probably going to be top 6. I mean, he was third at the Arnold. I mean, it was close between him and Dexter. You know, he's a big name. He's a big draw. And I think if Cedric could get a special invite last year, Flex Lewis can get a special invite this year. Well,
Flex Lewis, no. Wait a minute. Flex Lewis isn't Mr. 7-time Mr. Olympia. So
no, he's not.
Yeah,
no, he's not. No, he's not. He's not a Mr. Olympia though, is he? He's not. He's a
212 Olympia. Yeah, but for that, I can see why they do that. And that's absolutely okay. And Cedric, that's their choice. They said because he's in the military. Yeah, everybody has an excuse not to qualify. So I can find one too. I said my trunks didn't fit. You know, I need a special invite.
Trunks didn't fit. Carly likes that one.
You know, so listen. Yeah. If they don't give him a special invite and he needs to qualify, he would have a great shot at the Spain, Europe, where the top 3 qualify for the Olympia.
Of course. No, I did hear a rumor that he's trying to get to Spain. I heard he's trying to get to Spain to compete.
How is he trying? All you had to do is just get on a plane and go there. What do you mean he's trying?
Well, no, I heard he was down to do it.
Yeah, well, here's my concern. He's not even in Dubai. So that means he is in Egypt right now.
Okay.
From what I think, he's in Egypt. And if he's in Egypt, I know he's not training.
Really? Well,
he might get a workout in here and there, but he's in Egypt because he's seen the family and and he's taking it easy, I guess.
Yeah.
So if he's not in Dubai, that means he's not training.
I saw a video of him fishing yesterday.
Well, that makes sense. So I mean, does it look like he was? Doesn't matter. Listen, I hope. Maybe he already got a special invite. I don't know. Maybe they won't give it to him, because if they won't give it to him, I think it's going to be the chances of him not competing this year will be very high. I hope he gets it together.
Yeah.
And goes back to training, because this is the final countdown now. I mean, you need to be going.
Yeah, thing is, after he was second at the 2017 Olympia to Phil Heath, 2018, no 2019. This year he had the kind of, I suppose it was a disappointment for him and his fans for him to come third at the Arnold Classic. I thought he looked good at the night show. I thought he looked fantastic, and he always seems to pull it out the bag for the night show, but always looks like for the last the 2018 Olympia where he was in top sixth. He really kind of, the pre-judging, he looks so disappointing, but he always, and then I don't know what they probably just, they do what they do to get him dry for the finals, and I just wish he'd come and nail it, like he did in 2017.
Well, he didn't nail it in 2017 either, because if he would ever nail it, he would win. That's just my opinion. So he never nailed it so far. Never, ever, ever close to nailing it. But if he would nail it, he would beat anyone on that stage.
Where's the close? Okay. When's the close? What year was the closest that he came to nailing it, in your opinion?
I don't think he was ever close to nailing it.
Really?
He's still far away. That's how good he is. Think about it.
Yeah. What about the Arnold Classic he won?
Yeah, maybe that was a better look. But when we talk about nailing it, front to back, he never did so far.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why a lot of people are not worried about him, because they're not scared of him ever putting it together. 4 years ago, everybody was still scared.
Yeah. How old is he now? How old is he now?
Now people relaxing all around him because they're thinking he won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
So this is the time when he's not on the radar. This would be the time for him to come out and just nail it one time.
Yeah, I would love to see him get a special invite. I'd love to see him back up there in the first call out, because he brings a lot of excitement. He's a big, tall, wide guy. And it's no disrespect to the other guys, but you got like sort of Haddy and William Bonac and Flex Lewis, all around 220, 230. They're kind of slightly out of the 212s, and I think we like to see the tall, big guys. The giants. I think it adds a lot of. You were at the Arnold Classic. I mean, having Ramy in that lineup really adds excitement, doesn't it?
I wasn't there, but I saw it on the live feed. So, but absolutely, he belongs there. He belongs on the Olympia stage. So, and like I said, but for him to nail it 100%, he should be in training right now.
Yeah.
He should be focused on the Olympia at this point. So I'm not sure if he is, but I'm afraid that he might not be 100% focused at the moment. So I don't know exactly, but I will check on him and find out where he's at.
Give him a text, Dennis. Come on, get on his case.
Yeah, I will find out. I know he's in Egypt right now. So, I mean, and I always think if he's in Egypt, he's taking it easy.
Yeah. So when did he leave Dubai then? Because I know he was stuck there for a while with his team.
What?
When did he leave Dubai then? Because he was kind of stuck there for ages.
That had to be recent. Like, a couple of weeks ago, he was still in Dubai.
Yeah. Because I think he's got a good setup there, and he had gyms to train, so it wasn't like he was stranded out in Dubai. Because obviously he was on his way to the Arnold Australian, and then he got stuck in Dubai, wasn't he? Back in March. That's like 5-6 months ago now. So okay. So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen this year with Dexter Jackson? Do you think he's going to retire after this Olympia? I've got a feeling. Do you?
I think if the Olympia happens, it's going to be his last show. Yeah, why not?
Do you think? I've got a feeling he won't retire.
Well, that's up to him. Only he will know. But if I believe that he's saying this is his last. So and if he's going to go out on stage as his last, don't make it come back a year later because that's not going to look good on him. So let him enjoy his last Olympia. And listen, don't count him out. Don't count him out because don't count him out. I'll tell you why. Because Dexter is the most consistent bodybuilder of all of them. You might not agree with me, but it doesn't matter. He is the most consistent bodybuilder of all of them. And Dexter benefits from people not doing their homework.
Correct.
Which means if you come in less than in shape, I'm going to slip right by you no matter how much bigger you are.
Well, Ramy at the Arnold Classic, there's a prime example.
Yeah, and there's a lot of examples. So let this guy slip. Yeah. Because, Corona 2020, nobody had a full year of really focusing. Everybody had other stuff in mind. William Bonac is still putting rocks in front of the house, you know what I mean? So it looks like everybody has other things on their mind than the Olympia, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Dex is the only one that says, this is my last show. I got to go out big. So I wouldn't count him out. I don't count him out. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm saying there's a possibility of, imagine, making this your last Olympia and go out winning the Olympia.
Imagine at 50 years old. Wow. Do you know what? Sorry, go on.
Just think about that for a second. Let him go out on super top. I talked to him on the phone and I told him, I said, imagine you win this damn thing and you go out on top of the top. Nobody will ever break your records. You know what I'm saying? So this is for him, perfect scenario. I mean, he's motivated. I guarantee you. He's not missing any workouts.
If I hadn't seen how he looked at the Arnold Classic, I would probably not even have him in contention for the top 6 this year. But how he looked at the Arnold Classic, really, because at the Olympia last year, you could see he was I felt like his physique was starting to not degrade or slip, but you could see that
decline a little bit.
It was decline. It was. I mean, let's just call it as it is. And then at the Arnold Classic, he came out, and then what he did with his legs, I was like, how the hell did he do that? He looked fresh. He looked good. He beat Ramy. He beat Kuklo. He beat Sergio. These young, hungry lions, and I was so impressed with what he managed to do. I was like, oh my God, it's just every time this guy looks like he's starting to slip, he just pulls it out of the bag. He's done it that's the 3rd time I've seen him do it now. Yeah. Number 2000.
But keep in mind, Dexter didn't train for the Arnold to beat Kuklo or Sergio. He went to the Arnold to win the thing.
Yeah.
So he didn't have anybody that's in the back on his mind of, I got to beat these guys. No. They had to train to beat him. We just gotta keep it. We gotta keep it real here. Dexter's not worried about Steve Kuklo when he goes into a show. I know that for a fact. So he's worried about winning the show because that was his ultimate goal. He went there to win, and he ended up second.
Yeah. I mean,
and he's probably still mad that he didn't win, which I get. I get it. Second is the worst place.
I mean, Bonac was. I don't think anyone would have complained had he won, but so it wouldn't have been like a disgrace if he had won. But it was a solid second place, and I was glad.
That's why. I mean, he could have easily walked away with the win.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. So going to the Olympia. We'll see. Everybody's going to have to bring their A game. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because it's going to be like I said, there's possibility because the way it's Corona been going, there's a good possibility that there's going to be a lot of guys not able to make it to the U.S.
Yeah. Well, Kamal El-Gargani is actually flying to Turkey on September the 5th, 2-week quarantine there, and he's flying out to Florida to train with Flex Lewis until the Olympia. So he's definitely going to be there. Smart.
Very smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart, because if you get in now, get in and don't stay here because you might not be. You never know what's going to happen. You might not be able to get in later.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to the footage of Flex Lewis and Kamal training together with John De La Rosa and Rafael Brandao. I think there's gonna be some really exciting things going on in that Dragon's Lair.
Oh.
So, okay, well, obviously the biggest news, need we say, in the last, well, I think probably the best news of 2020 for me anyway, was the return of Phil Heath. Did you see that one coming?
Yes.
Why?
Because I feel that Phil is still mad. I don't think he's mad at losing in 2018. I think Phil is mad that, his title is going places where he figured that he could easily get that title back. And that's why I hope more than I thought he would. Maybe I had the hope factor.
Yeah. We all did, mate. We all did.
You know what? He finally understood that, listen, it ain't over. He's just coming back, and he's going back, and he's coming back to reclaim what is his. That's the way he thinks and feels.
And that sounds like a strange question, but why do you think he's coming back? Because I speak to Phil fairly regularly, and I avoid asking him that question. I have done for the last, since the 2018 Olympia or 2019 or whatever. And it's like, I wonder why. Because I honestly in my heart, I thought he was definitely done. I really did.
Nah, I had a long conversation with him, like almost 2 hours long, not too long ago, where he still hasn't decided that he's going to do it. Okay. And we talked especially about this. And then, he had a small reason, or something that but I don't want to be the one. It's up to him to say what he needs to, let us know the reason why he decided to come back. I'm sure he has a reason, and I'm sure he will let us know when it's time.
And the thing is, on the Saturday at the prejudging, on the Friday at the prejudging at the 2020 Olympia, he's going to be 41. So really, with all the guys like Rowley and Dexter and people like Sean Roden, even though he's not able to compete, he's kind of hitting his prime now, really age wise, and he is healthy, and he's and the stomach, he says, is fixed now. So, what do you think he can win it back?
Why? Listen, what question is that?
Bit of a come on, work with me.
Did you just really ask me if a 7-time Mr. Olympia could win it?
I've got to ask these questions.
What makes you think that after winning it 7 times that he can't win it now?
That's why I'd asked the question. I wanted to get your response, Dennis. Bearing in mind, I am like the biggest Phil Heath fan on the planet.
Listen, he absolutely can win it again. Listen, if he controls his midsection, if that's under control, and he brings the Phil Heath that we know, why should who would beat him? So that's a question for you. Who would beat him if he's at his best? Kai Green is not even there. So who would beat him from the lineup that you see right now? Who would beat Phil at his best?
No one.
Rami, 100%. That's it. That's the only one that can be a danger to Phil.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
We can agree to disagree, but this is my opinion. The only one that can really beat him, that can overpower him with size, and if he would bring Phil's condition, Rami in Phil's condition is unbeatable.
Yeah, but that's they got completely different kind of muscle quality and physique, so it's kind of a tough one.
That's why I'm saying Rami with Phil's condition. That's something we haven't seen yet. But listen, other than that, let's who can beat Phil at Phil 100%?
There isn't. No, there isn't. It's just whether does he. 100%. What about Phil? What if Phil comes at 90%? And Brandon's had a full year to prep, and he just.
Then Brandon needs to be 100%, and we haven't seen Brandon at 100% either.
Yeah.
So then Brandon needs to be 100%. And you know what? Listen, Brandon is going to give him a run for his money. That's for sure. I'm not taking anything away from Brandon. Brandon looks unbelievable. But there's certain things that you don't see unless you put them next to each other.
Yeah.
Okay? Brandon has a way wider statue. I mean, his shoulder width is way wider than Phil. But when it comes to detail, when you're not the most detailed athlete, then you're going to get exposed standing next to somebody as detailed as Phil. Last year he didn't have that next to him. He didn't have anybody next to him that exposed him in detail because it wasn't there. So it's. I don't want to talk down on these guys. All I'm saying is, if Phil is 100%, he's going to win the Olympia. If he's not 100%, Brandon Curry will be his biggest threat.
So you think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon Curry will be his biggest threat. There will be Flex Lewis is a threat.
I was just about to mention his name. Yeah.
I'm
I mean, you're talking about muscle
guys.
detail. You're talking about muscle detail. Flex Lewis has along with Phil Heath, has the best muscle detail.
Flex Lewis will be a threat, and I'll tell you why. Because we haven't seen Flex in a couple of years on stage, so he's going to come out as a new guy. He's going to be way bigger. He's going to be just as hard, and he's going to be fresh. So it's just a breath of fresh air coming on stage.
Yeah.
That's why I say he's a threat. Hadi Choopan is a threat, but I believe that Flex Lewis will possibly beat a Hadi Choopan because of Flex's overall symmetry and everything. I mean, it's so hard to judge. We have to see them next to each other because they're both a year or two better.
Do you know what?
So we have to see
I had a conversation with Bob Chick last week, and he said that it's about who's got not the strongest, but who's got the least weak poses. And I think Hadi Choopan only has one weak pose, and that's his rear double bicep. I think Flex has more weak poses than Hadi, but I think he flows better than Hadi.
Yeah, well, this is something we need to see when they stand next to each other. It's hard. We can't break down individual poses on different pictures or so. We'll have to put them next to each other. That's the only way we can really tell.
Well, like you said about Flex Lewis, it's a fresh physique coming out. It's a new guy because we're not going to see the same version of him because no one has ever seen Flex Lewis at his best when he's 4 weeks out, when he's prepping for a 212 show, when he's 225 and he's 14 pounds heavier and rock hard and he could readily step on stage. You know, so I'll be honest. I've said this before in a couple of interviews. I'm really excited for William Bonac, Hadi Choopan, and Flex Lewis to be called out together. The X212, similar height, similar structure, similar size, and to see how those three compare with each other.
But now think about this. Since you just mentioned it, we have an idea what William looked like. We'll know William at his best. We know what he looks like.
Yeah.
We'll know what Hadi Choopan is going to look like at his best because we saw him.
Yeah.
But we never saw Flex at his best.
It's a big question mark, isn't it?
So there's a plus sign. We already know what to expect from Hadi. We know what to expect from William. You know, William is at the point now where he hopes that he's going to be as good as he was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're at the point where you're chasing, you know, previous conditions.
Sorry, who is this? Who's this you're saying?
William.
Yeah. Well, he looked good at the Arnold.
William, you know, was last year at the Olympia, he wasn't at his best.
No.
At the last year at the Arnold, he was way better.
Yes. Yeah.
He wasn't at his best at the Arnold this year.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think for me the best was 2017 when he took third behind Ramy and Phil.
That's what I'm trying to get to. That's why I'm telling you, when you chase previous conditions, that we already know the best William. We've seen it before, so there's going to be no surprise.
Yeah.
So Flex is going to be a surprise factor because we have never seen Flex at the weight that he's going to be on when he steps on stage, and we haven't seen him in 2 years. So we're missing we know the old Flex. But if it comes in improved, what is that going to do to that lineup that you just mentioned?
True. I mean, do you remember how, I'll be honest, when I saw Flex at the 2018 Olympia, his last 212 win, I didn't believe he could look like that at 212. I thought that kind of physique would be how he would look when he was open. So, because I thought he was the same body weight it was the year before. I don't know, maybe just peaked better or whatever. But to see how he looked at the 2018 Olympia that's another question. What sort of body weight do you think he'll be? Because Bob Chick said, 280? He thinks Flex will be like 218, 220. And some people are saying, no, he's going to be like 230 plus. But just an educated guess, what do you think his body weight will fall around?
Well, listen, when you think about it, he was 212. He had to make 212, so he had to lose muscle in order to make 212.
Yeah.
If you think about that. So he was probably 220. He was probably 220, 218, 220 back then.
Maybe a few pounds more, maybe.
Yeah, anywhere from 218 to 225.
Well, Flex said to me, he says, Giles, at 4 weeks out, he says, I am 200 and, say for example, 225, 226. He says, and really, that is my best physique. So, and thing is, like you said, now he's got no weight restrictions. He hasn't got to worry and have the anxiety about, you know, those last few weeks. He's got no restrictions now. I just wondered.
But that was the 225 like 2 years ago.
That's my point.
So he's got 2 years of training on his back right now. So he could be 235. He could be 235 4 weeks out. We don't know.
I wonder what he'll look like at 235. I want to keep, because if he's kept those aesthetics and the waist remains small, which Neil Hill's going to be watching, he's going to be checking him, 10 times a day, keeping that waistline. It's like when I saw William Bonac as a 212, you just thought, God, this guy is stacked. And then he kind of, as he got better and bigger and bigger, he still managed to keep, if anything, his waist got smaller because everything else got bigger. So I think it's really exciting, to think what he could bring to the Olympia this year. I really, really am excited. So what about the other guys? Like, what about other guys that, they're really looking to move up? Guys like Nathan Diasha, who's back up there. You've got guys like Steve Kuklo. Akim Williams is finally really starting to, for me, he's really starting to nail his condition now. How do you think those guys could maybe move up and maybe take out some big names?
Well, this would be the year because it would probably be the Olympia with the least amount of competitors.
Yeah.
So this will be the year to move up. I mean, this is the year. So it's hard to say about Nathan. But Nathan, yes, he could be a guy to move up, but we haven't seen much of Nathan lately. So we don't know what he's going to bring. Gym videos and gym pictures, that's all nice. You're going to have to bring it the day of the show. And that's, trust me.
Yeah, because
that's the hardest part. Because everybody thinks.
Yeah, he showed me a video of because he was a week before the Arnold. He sent me a video where he said he was weighing 268. Now that's 26 pounds heavier than when he did the British Grand Prix the year before in 2019, when I thought he looked absolutely amazing, a nice clean look, but a little bit smaller for him. And he says Askar, his coach, wants him in at 270. And I'm like, so that's 28 pounds heavier than when you won a show last year. And you still think you can keep the waistline small and keep the aesthetics and keep the clean lines. I just think it's a bit. It worried me. It worried me.
This is a wish factor.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be 268 on stage. Listen. Tell him.
Get that Detramine into you. Is it Detramine?
Stick to what he knows. He needs to stick to what he knows. You want to be in the top 6?
Yeah.
Stick to what you know. You want to be out of the top 6? Go up to 270.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Go up to 270 and do what they always do, and just try to get big, and that's just about it.
Yeah.
Stick to what you know. I mean, people don't get it. I mean, how did he qualify? How did he qualify for the Olympia?
Korea last year.
How much did he weigh? You said 248?
Oh, he was. So when he won the British Grand Prix in May, he was 242. That was in June. Last June 2019, he was 242, and I thought it was a really nice look. I thought it was a really good look.
He won't understand this until he comes in at 260 one time, and then he sees the pictures.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the 260 era. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, if Hadi can make top 3 weighing 218.
Huh?
If Hadi Chupin can, because what was it? Hadi was 218 at the Olympia last year when he took third. He was.
I don't know.
He was 212 when he beat Brandon at the San Marino 2017. It's like
we don't know how much he weighed there last year. Numbers is just rumors and speculations. Nobody really knows.
Well, the reason I'm saying
Well,
the reason I'm saying that about Hadi was because that was when he did San Marino, when he beat Brandon, and arguably could have beaten Cedric. You were there. You were emceeing.
Arguably he should have won.
Yes, that was only a few weeks after the Korea show when that was a 212. So he couldn't. He was probably just filled out. He couldn't have been more than 218 there, and he looked fantastic. That's my point.
Yeah, whatever he weighed doesn't matter. He looked good.
Yeah,
he looked good. Really, really, really good.
I would love to see that. I'd love to see that version of him. That kind of exploding. That everything just like. I was so shocked when he walked out on stage. I was like, holy shit, amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, so, okay then, Dennis. Well, I want to get on and just kind of get a catch-up. Are you going to the, not the New York Pro. It's moved to Tampa, isn't it?
No, I'm not going. I'm going to be home, chilling.
Yeah. So what are you up to now then? Just any more news with your shows going on for next year or in Germany, or tell us?
Well, yeah, next year, June 5th, and then in Germany, October 30th. But that's just the plan there. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, must be, I feel for you guys that are show promoters and everything. It must be really difficult,
It's a slap. It's a big slap,
Yeah. Oh well.
But what can you do? I mean, I can't have the show without spectators because I would be coming out of the pocket. So I need to sell my tickets. If I can't sell tickets, I can't have a show.
Especially when you're selling like close to 3,000 tickets, mate.
3,200.
What? That's what's that? Regional or like national? Like a national? I mean, anyway, it doesn't matter. Well, that's amazing.
It was a pro qualifier. It was a pro qualifier in Germany.
Yeah. So what?
2 years back to back, sold out. Yeah, 2 years. I had 1,200 people for prejudging.
That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. What's Adolf Burkhardt? Is he doing the New York Pro?
He was if it would have been in May, but he pulled out. See, a lot of people pulled out and said, you know what, fuck it, next year.
Yeah.
So that's why you'll see a lot of shows with less than stellar standard, because a lot of guys just already said, you know what, I can't be 100%, so I'm not going to focus on this year. I'll focus on next year. That's why. So now there's a show in Europe where the top 3 in each class qualify for the Olympia. Can you imagine? Everybody's going to jump on that stage. There are going to be people on stage probably not even in shape.
No, do you know what? I was really happy when I heard that, because I remember speaking to Dan Solomon back in May, April, May, and I was hoping that, you know, with everything unfolding with the COVID situation, they were going to look at doing like special invites and make shows top 3. And at that time, they had no kind of plans to do so. It was kind of like let's just see how it goes. We'll make necessary adjustments. So I was really happy to hear. In fact, I hope they do the top 3 thing with some of these other shows like Chicago. Maybe
no. It's a one-time thing, one show, one deal.
Can't they do it for more though?
No, I talked to JM last week in what was it, in Dallas. And he said, you know, I said, listen, this is kind of not fair to the other promoters, you know, because other promoters would like to have the athletes too. Yeah, this is a one-time thing because there was no shows in Europe, and this is the only show that's going to pull through. So they're going to do it for them, and that's it. One time, and that's it. There's no more.
Oh God! I mean, I just thought with the you know, special circumstances, less shows, and then, you know. Well, I suppose we'll still get to see the best of the best at Olympia. I mean, I mean, if Kamal's getting there, and yeah, hopefully, if Kamal's definitely getting there, and there's guys, because guys will find a way. I just really hope. I'd love to see Ramy get a special invite. I hope Hadi can make it, because especially with what happened last year, you know, and it was kind of like 90%, but still took 3rd in his first Olympia. I just really hope that those guys, those top name guys, really get to.
You know what the problem is? We got the elections coming up in November. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And if there's some shifts going on, and then the immigration, we're going to be even worse.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, let's just hope for the best, mate.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's why I tell people, try to get in now.
Yeah. Well, that's
maybe I should text Ramy and say, listen, try to come in now. I said, you can train here.
Yeah. Oh.
Chat can prep you. I said, I'll train with you, because he needs some motivation, I think.
He needs to get into Camp DJ, mate, and get some of that Dennis James focus.
Get his ass in shape. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be a good storyline. And then when you're at the press conference again, you know, doing your thing, hopefully get you back.
I won't be at the press conference. I'm not doing the press conference.
That's disgraceful, quite frankly.
Why?
That's disgraceful, because you and Bob Chick are the best duo. You're fantastic.
Yeah, well, they decided to go some different routes, so what am I supposed to say? I
mean, I think Sean Ray's fantastic, but, you know, when you talk about chemistry between individual, when you talk about, you know, duos, you and Bob Chick, you know, you're proven. You two, you just bounce off each other fantastically. And that's probably, it's always, because the press conference, that's what kicks off the Olympia. You know, and that's what kind of, so if that falls flat, it kind of doesn't get the ball rolling and get the excitement generated. You know, if you're not really having a bit of fun and you're grilling the competitors and, you know, there's not that banter, it kind of falls a little bit flat. And I think we want this Olympia. So I'll have a word with Dan, I think, because I think we need to get DJ back up there, because he's absolutely, pardon my French, but he's fucking brilliant. So there you go. So
thank you. I appreciate that coming from you, brother. Thank you so much.
No, I mean, I've said that to you many times on and off camera. I mean it, because it was, I think your presence was definitely missed last year at the Olympia. It was, you know, on that.
I heard that from a few people. It was like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't the same. But, you know, me and Bob, we did it for like 9 years. So it was already, you know, we were feeding off each other. And the energy was right. Yeah. You know, I mean, listen. But it's not like I said I didn't want to do it anymore, you know. It's just that they said, listen, we want to go different routes, so blah, blah, blah. You know, it is what it is. You know, I have to respect everyone's decision, so there's not much I can do.
Guys, stick with a tried and tested formula. Bob and DJ at the press conference at the Olympia. You don't need to try other things. Don't try it. Don't mess up a winning formula there. It's not needed. It's too big a show to do this.
Hey, maybe my suit was too good looking. I don't know. Maybe it was my suit. Maybe the suits were.
All right, then, Dennis. Well,
see.
I'll probably not see you until Las Vegas, until December. I think maybe get on the phone to Rami and see what you can sort out there, mate.
Listen, I'm going to text him right now. After I get off the phone with you, I'm going to text him right now and see what the situation is.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to motivate him again. I said, listen, if you need to come here, come here.
Yeah.
I have not had an athlete in my house since Rami last.
Wow.
And I said, I'm not going to have another athlete in my house. But just for him to be at his best, I would let him come stay here one more time and train.
There you go, guys. Come on, Rami. If you're watching, mate, I'll message Rami as well. I think motivate him. All right,
and he knows he'll get the best food too.
Oh, wow.
Best cook.
Okay, some Arizona grill.
And that's not me, so don't think I'm the one cooking. I'm not cooking.
Okay. All right then, DJ. Well, it's always a pleasure, mate, and always good to get your opinions, and good to see you. On the scene always, mate. Really is. So I'll see you in Las Vegas, mate.
All right, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, and keep throwing out them videos, brother. Okay.
Thank you, Dennis.
Let me know if you need me. Take care, bro.
Thank
Be
you.
safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys, we're bringing it proper old school Global Muscle back. We're bringing the shout-outs back to Global Muscle for Season 3. So first in our shout-outs, we have Asha Hadley. This lady just won the ladies bodybuilding at the Savannah Pro this weekend, the Linda Murray show. So let's have a look. Let's look a bit of a bio. Okay. Right. Asha Hadley, IFBB Pro from Miami, Houston, registered dietitian, 2016 Olympian, 26. So she Asha must have been women's physique and moved back to bodybuilding. I'm assuming because there was no ladies bodybuilding from 2013 onwards. Obviously, the Miss Olympia now coming back to the Miss Olympia. So let's have a look at her. Let's have a look. Okay, here we are. This is I think this is her with her partner. So let's say some physique shots. Hang on. Let me go back. So I had kind of a big day today. After 4 years away from competing, I made a comeback to the women's bodybuilding division and was able to punch another ticket to the Olympia. So it was a team effort, so I'm extremely grateful to those who helped me. Oh, she's prepped by Shelby Starnes, another very, very, very well-renowned ladies coach. Gets fantastic results. Her posing, obviously, by Kenny Wallach, a very well-known, respected figure in ladies, in the NPC worldwide for posing. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some more pictures. A picture of a dog, picture of a leg. Let's have a look. Well, where's a good picture? Come on, we need a really good picture. Oh, look at the shoulders. Wow, let's play that. Okay. Whoa, that's some shoulders, Carly, isn't it? Yep. Wow, that's a very serious face. That's her diet face. I'm assuming this was in the lead up to the Savannah Pro. So, it's very exciting because this lady is now qualified through to the Olympia, and she'll be going up against Iris Kyle. Who else is doing the other names are actually definitely Hella Trevino, obviously the Wings of Strength. So Hella is going to be going up against, this lady's going to be going up against Hella more like, but she's looking really good. Really good. Let's have a look at her physique. Not many physique shots. It's just kind of snippets. Let's have a look. Oh, what have I done? That's a nice shot. Look at her triceps. Holy shit. Basically, that's all I could say. Okay, here she's eating a cookie. She's not giving much away, is she, on here? Let's have a look at this. A bit of posing. Okay. Oh, she looks quite tall. Here we are. Oh, she's very sweaty here. She's got, nice big frontal bicep there. Have we got any sound on this, or have we got sound?
No, it needs sound on the video.
Oh, we need sound on the video, right? Okay. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. So she's only posing anyway. She's not making any noise. So Asha Hadley, wish she has a bit more to show, but maybe she's celebrating with some cookies after a big win at the... let's have a look at the comments. Okay, let's have a comment. Shelby Starnes, your best ever and just the start. Shelby's really good. He's a really good guy as well. Very, very smart guy. Very, very good coach. What else? Look. So, that's pretty much it, really. There's not a huge amount on her Instagram. Let's have a look at this. Look at the chest striations here, Colleen. Oh, look at that. Look at the condition. She's got lovely teeth. Lovely teeth. She does. She's got lovely teeth. Teeth, very important in female bodybuilding. You can't chew your chicken if you haven't got nice teeth. So, yeah. Female athletes, sexy pecs. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Sorry. Just that one jumped out of me for some reason. But right, okay. Well, that's Asha Hadley. So keep an eye out for her. It'll be her first Olympia in 4 years. She'll be 27,000 followers. Yeah, she's really been out of it for the last few years. So it'll be exciting to see what she's going to bring to the Olympia. Fantastic condition, great quads. I love her shoulders. She's got a nice female bodybuilding look there. So I just wish there was a bit more on her Instagram, really. There's her with her partner there. Okay. Right, okay then. Moving on to the next one. We had this guy popped up the other day and my false teeth fell out in shock, quite frankly. Here he is. This guy is called Jang Sung Yeop. Doesn't even say where he's from. I think I've got it in my head that he's from Korea because he's doing the Korea Pro next weekend or this weekend by the time you watch this. Look at this guy. Have a look at this guy. Look at the size of this guy. This guy's 212. He's not even open. Yeah, hang on. It's a really cool video. Oh, shit. Where is it? This is the video here. Is this the one? Have a look at this. Check this out. Here we go. Just turn the sound of it. Thanks, mate. Okay, let's have a look at him. Look at his quads. Do you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me... There's a bit of Jose Raymond a bit about him. Yeah, his back's not great. The legs are good. Yeah, needs a bit more thickness in the back, but it's hard. Oh, look at the shoulders and arms. Holy crap. Whoa. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, so he's doing the Korea Pro in the 212 this weekend. So let's have a look at the comments. Oh, it's all in Korea. I can't read that. Total beast, great off-season size. That's not off-season. That's bloody for a contest, guys. Come on, sort your shit out. Look at that. Where has he been hiding, this guy? Okay, Jang. Sorry, I've got to say his name right. Jang Sung Yeop, IFBB Pro Bodybuilder. I want to find out where this guy turned pro. Look at that side chest. Whoa, looks like Hidetada in the face. Yeah, good physique. Yeah, good, huge chest, great thickness. What else? Come on. Let's have a look at that shot there. Yeah, look at the arms. Quads are incredible. Absolutely incredible. He's 2 weeks out here from the Monster Zim official. That's the Monster Zim official that's the name for the Korea Pro. That's the one that Samson's been quarantined. Samson Dowda. All right. Yeah, that's the same one. So it's pointless looking at the comments because it's all in. I can't read it. I need to brush up on my Korean. I think it is. Sorry. Let's have a look at the squatting. Let's have a look at this. 16,000 likes this video's got. How many is that? 1, 2, 3. This is 500-pound squats here. 220 times 10. So that's 220 kilos. What's 220 times 2.2? It's about 500 pounds. About 500 pounds. 5 plates. Yeah, give or take. Let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Good form. What's the most you've ever squatted, Colleen? No comment. I've done 4.5 plates for 5. Well, it was 4 plates, a 5 kilo and a 2.5 kilo collar. So I got that for 5 reps. No good reps as well. It would snap me in 2 now. My body would just snap. Right, okay. Right, what else we got? Is there anything else interesting on here? Doesn't really give much away about him. These people's Instagram accounts, they don't really put much on. Maybe they put it all in their stories like I do. What's he chewing there? Is that a gum shield? Is it a gum shield? No, or is it? What's that? I don't know. Oh, Hidetada wears a gum shield when he trains. Like when they bite down on it. Maybe it saves their teeth. You know what these bodybuilders are like with their teeth. Okay, what's this? Front squatting. Is that 5 or 6 plates? This must be off season. Whoa, hang on. I'm trying to count the plates there. 1, 2. Oh, hold still. Hold still. 1 rep. And he's got a corset on. So that was 1 rep front squat. I think that's 6 plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plates for 1 rep. I'm not sure why he's doing 1 rep like, but then again, look at the size of his legs. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see what this guy's going to bring to the Career Pro. Maybe we can find a bit. If you go to his Instagram, let's have a look. The Mass. Go up. The Mass _212. So give this guy a follow, and maybe you can find out some more stuff about him. He's got a YouTube channel there. So give that a check out and see, and be interested to see what this physique, how that translates to the stage next week in Korea. Okay, let's go to our final shout out. Ooh, what have I done? Okay. Right, this is one of yours, Colleen. This is a final shout out. This is, where's her name? Hannah Prowse. Hannah Prowse. Her Instagram name is Hannah_IFBB Pro _figure. IFBB Pro, Figure Pro, Hannah D. Prowse. She's sponsored by MP Nutrition, Power Stage Germany. Okay, let's have a look at her. Oh, she's a very, very pretty woman. So, what do you want to see? Which photo? Come on, Colin, it's your shout out. That one? Physique. Let's show the body. Obviously, it's a bodybuilding show, isn't it? So. Oh, she's got good shape. Look at her shoulders. Great X frame there. Great quads. Yeah. Very nice physique. It's all in German. I can't read that. That's not very helpful. Right, okay. Let's have a look at this one. That's a nice photo. Hannah Prowse, IFBB Pro. There you go. Yeah. I believe she did... Hannah did the Romania Pro last year. I think that's where we saw her. They are. Romania. That's Romania. Yes. Do you want to stay or Romania? Please add sound effect, Kalim. What's that you're writing down? Edit that bit out. Okay, cheers, mate. Okay, yeah, great. Some people will never understand. I don't have a relationship because I decided... Oh, she's talking about relationship. Oh, she's not in a relationship. Yeah, I guess she's single. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good shot. That's a good shot. I'm trying to think where I've seen her before. I've definitely seen her before. Show me the way you give me wings of strength. Oh, she doesn't really... Pullman, Bucharest. Oh, that's in Bucharest. Oh, Romania. That is, so you can see the sign there, Romania. So was this the lady that turned pro at Romania last year, or she did compete as a pro? Why don't we find out? That's the whole point of doing these shout-outs. So we find out more about them. Censored? No, I won't look at that. It's a bit rude. Okay. Lovely shots. Let's have a look at... what do you want to look at, Kalim? Just pick a picture. The middle one. I thought you were going to say the chair one.
Oh, no. It's PG-13.
PG-13. Okay. Yeah. Lovely. Fantastic condition. Look at the condition. Oh, she bloody speak English. Yeah, I'm a bit rusty on the old German. Not going to lie. So, here we are. Let's get more contest shots. That's what we want to see. We want to learn more about it from her contests. IFBB Pro League Germany. So she was representing Germany at the Romania Pro. I want to try and find out her placing. Hannah Prowse. That's a lovely shot, isn't it? Look at that. That's beautiful. Yeah. Very, very, very nice photo. Good. It's always very, very important, guys, and ladies and gentlemen who compete. When you're in condition, organize shoots like this, because it's just stage stuff, especially when you're competing long, finish. This is the kind of stuff you want to look back on, not your stage photos. It's important, when you're in shape, you put all that effort into competing and dieting and prepping and getting your body looking incredible. You want to be able to... Oh, she did a show in the UK. She did the Two Bros. 10 Athletic. There, look. Amateur. I assume this is... Yeah, London, UK. That's where I've seen her. At the Two Bros. So that looks like the amateur. You can tell by the graphic there. Oh gosh, got some tags and people in there. It's the logo for the Amateur Olympia, which I think that was the 2018 one. That was the one that Mark Hector turned pro at, the Open Pro. So you want to see any more pictures? Yeah, good stage pictures. I like that. See, these are the sort of things. That's the sort of shoots I like. Look at that. Yeah, makes muscle look elegant and beautiful. Really, I think it's the only word. Lovely shape. Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, she's fantastic. What a lovely look. What a lovely look. So yeah, anyway, give Hannah Prowse, Hannah_IFBB Pro _figure. Give her a follow and tell her that the guys from Global Muscle sent you. Sorry, I'm just trying to multitask here, guys. So yeah, okay. So that's our shout outs for this week. We're going to do this as a regular inclusion every episode now, and also we're going to be bringing another new segment. We're not bringing this one back. This is a new segment we're going to be doing. Shall I say?
Keep it secret.
Keep it secret. You think? You sure?
Yes.
Because it's cool, isn't it? It's cool. It's a very, very good new segment. And it's really going to add to the show because Global Muscle is primarily an interview-based, where we interview all the stars of the industry, all the legends, all the newcomers, all the up-and-comers from all divisions. We're trying to give everyone the equal opportunity to have their platform to be listened to and hear their stories. But of course, we're always trying to evolve the format of MD Global Muscle. So I think next episode 7, we'll have this segment again, and we'll have the new segment, which Carly thinks we should be keeping secret. So so I hope you enjoyed this episode of Global Muscle, and make sure you follow us on Instagram. What's our Instagram? MD Global Muscle. Just Global Muscle. Yeah, sorry, just Global Muscle. Search us out. Give us a follow. We haven't got many followers. Pathetic. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week for MD Global Muscle, and we are out.